While the probability to debut as a K-pop idol is smaller than being struck by lightning, the chance to build a name in this fiercely competitive battleground was actually 1,000,000 times smaller than that. On average, more than 100 groups debut each year, but you can probably only remember 5 to 10 rookies who debuted in 2020, can't you? The number of successful acts is counted on the fingers of one hand only. The rest, whose popularity remained zero after years of working, are even specifically referred to as NUGU groups, which could roughly be translated into English as nobody. Though there are countless NUGU groups in the industry, for the limited amount of time of today's video, only some will be mentioned. Number 1. Baba. Baba is a girl group that debuted in 2015 under PR Entertainment, and has had some pretty wild changes. Over their 5-year career, the group has had 21 members through various lineups, but their final lineup consisted of 5 members: Purum, Starlight, Surim, Cheha, and Johua. Different from most groups, they debuted with a techno cover of Sergeant Kim's Return from Vietnam, a song from Shin Jun Hyun from 1969, instead of a song produced exclusively for them. To attract more attention from the public, they turned to the mature and sexy concept in the second comeback. However, upon the realization that such a change couldn't help their fanbase grow bigger, they switched back to the cute concept for the latest promotion in 2018. Oh my god. But since they remained a NUGU group after that comeback, the girls ended up disbanding in 2020. Speaking of the reasons for Baba's failure to thrive, there are several points to be named. First is about the constant change in lineup. As I've mentioned, within the short span of 5 years, 21 people have come and gone. And just imagine, how could any fan bear when they had to constantly change biases, but still, the new biases they just rooted left them the very next day? If you're a fan of Baba, could you remain a loyal fan and root for the group in such a situation? No, definitely not. The second reason comes down to the songs that Baba had been releasing. Probably for their limited budget, the girls rarely had any tracks that could get people hooked right from the start. If it had not been for the lame melody, then there would have been something plain with the lyrics. Even with their last comeback, Baba could only promote 3 times on The Show, with the most viewed performance having around 5,000 views and 28 comments. Eventually, the group ended up disbanding in 2020. Number 2. Hallux. Although Hallux, a girl group debuting in 2016 under LPA Entertainment, also had the same rock-bottom budget as Baba, they remained a NUGU not really for being unfortunate, but rather the lacking qualifications of the members. Initially, Hallux was composed of 5 members: Yulim, Yeonjung, Yunsong, Mina, and Yoonju. However, until now, only 3 members stayed because Yurim left after the promotion of Funky Donkey, and Yoonju either went on an indefinite hiatus or departure after the promotion of Our Story. As mentioned earlier, bad luck had no interference with the group's failure, but instead, it was their poor MV quality and the terrible shortcomings. First, throughout their career, there were hardly any videos that were taken seriously, from the camera angles in the MV to the melody of the song. In fact, their debut MV, You Lie, looked nothing more than a low-quality dance assignment done in the last minutes. Opening the video, you'll be met with a scene where all members look as stiff as pencils, doing awkward hip wiggling. Then, You Lie proceeded with a choreography that can irritate the eyes, and the vocal that can cause listening fatigue. Things also didn't get any better in the second one, Our Story, since it was pretty much another cheesy school project. Especially for the part from 45 seconds to 1 minute 5 seconds, you'll see how lacking the vocal techniques of these 2 members are. Though the dancing skills of Hallux did improve in time, with regard to their singing capabilities, they were way under the bars except for Mina and Yeonjung. Especially for the former member Yurim, while it remains unclear as to whether the company forced her to have such an annoying vocal and chubby figure, as everyone started to get mortified by her lines in Hallux's song, she ended up leaving the group in 2020. Number 3. Lip Bubble. Another NUGU group that managed to debut, just to struggle every single day after with super low budgets, was Lip Bubble. Despite the name, Lip Bubble has nothing to do with blisters or cold sores. In 2017, the group debuted under Zenith Media with an 8-member lineup: Winey, Leah, Soren, Mireille, Ella, Hae, Eunpyeol, and Hanbi. Somewhat luckier than the previous 2 groups, Lip Bubble had already built up some anticipation before debuting, thanks to their impressively synchronized dance cover video of Rihanna's Bitch Better Have My Money. which has around 130,000 views as of this post. Then, the group's reputation also increased a little bit after Eunbyo and Hanbi appeared on KBS's The Unit. Unfortunately, the pair didn't help Lip Bubble become any more famous since neither made it through the first elimination. Probably to gain more public attention, Lip Bubble was forced to do one of the most controversial debuts ever with Popcorn. During that time, Lip Bubble was accused of releasing a mixed version of Twice's Cheer Up and Red Velvet's Russian Roulette. From the concept, MV, choreography, to even photo cards and stage costumes, everything reminded people of either one of the two famous MVs of the top two girl groups of K-pop. Though Lip Bubble tried to fix the mess with the second comeback, Yellow Pink, an upgrade in aesthetic, musical quality, and originality, they still failed to attract attention since everyone was fed up with groups that used crafty tricks to be famous. Even until now, the MV has just had around 55,000 views and 344 comments. Number 4. Hotshot. Besides NUGU girl groups, there are also tons of other boy groups that you may have never heard about. The first one on this list is Hotshot, a boy group debuting under Stone Music Entertainment. In 2014, they made their very first public appearance with a lineup of 6 members: Ha Seung-woon, Ro Ta-hyun, Choi Joo-hyuk, Kim Tomoteo, Jun-hyuk, and Go Ho-jung. Despite possessing the promising and talented face who used to train along with EXO members, Timoteo, Hotshot still struggled to survive in the cutthroat environment of K-pop. Similar to some members of SIS and Lip Bubble, Seung-woon and Taehyun participated in Produce 101 Season 2 to save the group's reputation. Though they were both ranked in A-class in the first evaluation, and Ha Seung-woon even made it onto the final lineup, not many people actually know about Hotshot until now. That also explained why, in 2017, Timoteo and Ho-sung went on another survival show, The Unit, to revive their group. Still, they failed once again. Despite being a talented boy group checking all the boxes, visual expression, stage presence, singing, and dancing, the group hasn't had any promotions for 2 years. And obviously, their future remains a big question. Seemingly, the company really wanted to invest further in Hotshot, but since it was understaffed, buried in debt, and super broke, there was nothing to be done. For a long time, Hotshot had to produce their own song, come up with the choreography, fan chant, and even do the whole promotion process themselves. Number 5. JJCC. The last boy group on the list that suffered from a similar fate with Hotshot is JJCC. The group debuted in 2014 under the management of Jackie Chan Group Korea, with the initial lineup of 5 members: Iko, Eddie, Prince Mak, Simba, and Sanchung. Not long after that, 2 new faces, Yul and Zika, were added to the group. However, Prince Mak left the group in 2017 after signing with Emperor Entertainment Group Beijing to pursue a solo career in China. Though JJCC did initially gain some attention for being the first ever K-pop group trained and debuted by the company of Jackie Chan, the public interest quickly faded away since JJCC didn't have anything particularly distinguished. After the 2016 promotion of Today, upon the realization that they could hardly thrive in the domestic market, JJCC started to go for the Japanese industry in the same year. However, they failed miserably. As of today, their MV Today has only had around 91,000 views, and their debut MV in Japan, Freedom, has also seen a humble number of roughly 155,000 views. So, which group do you find the most regretful? Do you think any of them should never have debuted, and why so? Just comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting content. Thank you for watching.